time, same bat channel.
Hey guys, welcome in. Yeah, 2 o'clock. Still getting some comments coming through here. Lots of reporters on Twitter reporting on comments from McCarthy. Speaker McCarthy saying no additional talks are scheduled at this point, but the two sides continue to discuss certain things as far as getting a deal done. Again, we're just over a week before this deadline of June 1st for the debt ceiling to be raised. The market trying to go back up now after that last move to the downside that came as these latest meetings wrapped up, and both sides kind of went their own way for the afternoon, and there was no indication anyway of any progress being made. So this is how the overall market's shaping up right now. But as I said, we are starting to head back to the upside ever so slightly here. 0.75 for the S&P, almost a full percent there for the NASDAQ, tech leading downside as rates continue to rise here this afternoon. 0.3 for the Dow, 0.84 here in Toronto for the TSX. Crude oil up nicely, 1.75% and change for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Very mixed board to show you here, 0.66 right now. This is the S&P 500. It is healthcare that's leading to the downside, even with, a significant move for Moderna, up nearly 10% on the day. Pfizer there as well, 2.8% to the upside. Strength in banks, we have insurance, we have financial services, both negative. Consumer discretionary, some tech and industrial weakness to offset that then. And then a little more positivity coming in, consumer staples and communication services along with energy stocks. But overall, as I mentioned, the market downside, 0.7 right now for the S&P 500. Again, more comments still coming through as far as Speaker McCarthy and what happened this afternoon. They said no talks scheduled with Biden yet. Staff continuing to talk, though, to try and arrange something. He said, they're not going to take a bill to the floor to be voted on that can't get passed. So that comes with, as I said, just over a week before we get to this deadline of June 1st. Frank Caberna coming up this afternoon. He's going to talk a little bit about why we've seen 9 straight days to the upside here for, as we saw those charts, for yields, specifically the 2 and the 10-year, just on an absolute tear right now. We'll talk a little bit about why that's affecting the overall market. So we'll discuss that. Yeah, nice move for Block here, 2.7% to the upside on heavy volume as well. They were presenting at a JP Morgan conference, apparently. Jack Dorsey still making some comments here. We don't need open AI in order to compete in this space. Again, that's coming from Block. What is he, the founder, I guess, of Block? Jack Dorsey saying they don't need AI. Apparently everybody else needs AI, but Jack Dorsey does not need AI. Speaking of AI, top of the list this morning that we were discussing as far as some opportunities, NVIDIA was back on watch. More positivity coming as far as analysts are concerned ahead of earnings coming up. Hi, guys. Earnings coming up tomorrow. Max is here, yes. Max back in the building for Neil all week long, who is in Paris. What did we do with NVIDIA today?
First of all, Lily, you are correct. We love Brendan, and we will always love Brendan. Thanks for all that news there on Square. I was sitting here watching Square. I was like, what is going on? As I started to take out some highs there. But as you can see, we are short Meta right now here today. It's $1 in the money, so we'll watch out to see what this market wants to do. But again, my number one stock today, and happy to say it, is Advanced Micro Devices. And here it is right here, man. Short 111, short again 110. And I said to Max, he sat back down here, and I said, man, I thought this was a good out, like when it went up to here. And then this market tanked, and Max is like, what are you talking about? This is a pretty good out. It's 110 out 108.50. And again, we held about 20%. So we did better on that to the downside. I don't have too many thoughts on NVIDIA. I know Max has some levels that he was looking at, and I believe you may be in it right now.
It's hard I am in NVIDIA at the moment.
So we'll go over that in a minute with Max, but I just down 1% here. Coming earnings tomorrow, the 24th, after market. So for me, I'm going to stay away from NVIDIA and just continue to trade. The other chip name, or chip pod name, there's lots of them, is AMD. So I'm going to stick with what's been working and pass the microphone over to my man Max over here.
Yeah, I got AMD, or sorry, not AMD, NVIDIA, a little long here off the bottoms. I liked the 307 level, but I was busy having lunch, messing around, come back, it's held, and I watch it in here. Really didn't like being below 308, so I started to get in. got more. Now we're waiting for that little breakout here on NVIDIA. Thinking we can get back to VWAP eventually. Obviously, all depends on the market, but the semiconductor ETF starting to come off the bottom as well. So looking decent on this one, just waiting on a fill, so that will show up on the position board. But yeah, that's all I got on NVIDIA. Never got to that 315 level, which I thought would have been a banger short today, but comes down to my 307, 308 kind of level, and now we're chilling in the long on NVIDIA, thinking that, you know, we get a little mean reversion going into earnings tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. It is Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. You know, the thing about Tuesday is it's Tuesday all day.
Indeed.
So that's the thing. It was Tuesday this morning. Will be Tuesday later on. And yeah, the next name, Max and I, again, we're just talking about this one. So let's go over to the desk and talk to Brendan about Palantir.
When we sit down tomorrow morning, we'll find out how much more Kathy Wood was buying of Palantir today. Because, yeah, wow, 7% right now. And that's, what, 50, 60 cents off the highs here for PLTR?
Yeah, it was a rocket ship. We saw this one. Your midday, Sean was putting it in the chat that he was long 1342 high, Brendo, coming back into that 1250-ish level, 1260-ish level. It traded here around 945 or so. Let's see if this level holds out for support.
Just be aware, I keep seeing volume spikes here on block. It looks like this presentation is still going on. So anybody watching SQ, I don't see any more comments coming through, but anybody watching Square, there could still be some volume to come. Netflix as well, just popping up, guys. To begin, U.S. password sharing crackdown. Oh, right, that never actually happened in the U.S., did it? So, yeah, so Netflix going to begin U.S. password sharing crackdown. We already have that here.
Didn't hear anything Sharif said, but it's all good. Yeah, we do have that, and I think that Netflix on that crackdown is actually a good thing. I mean, I heard really great responses from the Canadian market about this, and they actually talked about it at their last earnings call, was that they're making more money on the password sharing, on people converting over, so just losing those customers completely. And if you don't like it, unsubscribe. But then people are actually paying back, and they're making more per customer on the ad tier system than they were before, because no one's stopping watching Netflix. It's just, now you have to pay, what, I think it's $8.99 a month, $7.99 a month, maybe something like that, and you get to watch a couple commercials. I honestly think, unfortunately for me, my family is all over Netflix, and we're actually part of like the higher tier. So sharing is still bad, bad sign for Netflix. But they've brought it, sharing is caring, but they did bring that back in, and apparently they are able to make a little bit more money off of the average consumer. But I do wonder what that exactly means for the US, because it's just such a huge base over there that if they lose, and there's IPTV, there's like a lot of like undercover things that really, I don't need to tell you this, I don't think, Max, unless, we are law-abiding streamers. But there are alternatives to which you can stream the same content and not maybe pay full price for it. So just based on that, I wonder where Netflix is going to go from here, especially on the US side. We'll take a look at that. Look, Palantir, this is what Sharif was talking about. It actually was not a great experience. We actually went long 70s, got something out 79 there. We talked about that. And then just all of a sudden, whoosh, went all the way to the downside. We protected against 60 and then got out once it broke 60. So a little bit of a hit. It's like 8-cent hit there, which was nothing. But there's Palantir from the day. Started off early, 12, really got going up there to 13.20. That's our best out. We talked about once it broke at that point, the 21 period, which was right there. And then we just tried another long, and we probably should have still been there. But unfortunately, that went to the downside. And then we put on our Meta short, which is $1 in the money, basically at the same time. See, we messed around with Meta long, then we hit the short, and then boom, right down to the downside here for Meta. So all is well over here, but Palantir, a little tricky. I feel like if there's anything that's going to fall down soon, it probably will be Palantir, because it's just been so well initiated off that last earnings call that, wow, from 7 up to 13 and change. I mean, that's a double up in just a week, a little bit less than 80% up in about a week and a half. That's a big move for Palantir. I do expect it to come back down a little bit, but they're making money now, so the case would be to buy them, I would think, as well. I don't know. I think Kathy Wood's behind a lot of this, and that's not rocket science because you can see all of their positions live. So, well, I don't know if it's live, but they update them. Just quickly, I'm going to get out of Meta if it takes, or I'm going to get half out if we take this 60 level right here. So we break above Meta on the 60 level, we're going to get out. So that's good takedown here, looking for more, but Meta breaking above 60, we're out. Too much talk about all this debt stuff coming through. So we'll have to wait on that. But that's my play for Meta if we break 60 out of half.
Yeah, the Palantir looks a little interesting off that 1250 kind of level, 1240 being the high of 2 days ago, I think. So yeah, I think if we get back down below 1250, could structure something in there with like a 1239 kind of stop. I just got stopped out of NVIDIA, by the way, on that weird market move that just happened. I guess somebody said something, so they wicked me out there. Didn't get back in. Maybe I'll get back in later on that one.
Just noting, we saw Moderna on that board when we came on there, just absolutely on a tear today, up better part of 10%. BNTX, the other side of their COVID arrangement, 9.5%, just took out the highs as well. Huge volume spike came in there at day highs, so stops getting blown out possibly all over the place here for BioNTech as well on an absolute tear. Alibaba, we were discussing a little bit this morning. They said they're going to cut 7% of their workforce from their cloud division specifically. There was some economic data that came out of China that had the entire group downside anyway, but Alibaba ended up being interesting today.
Yeah, Alibaba doing some housekeeping prior to the spinoff of their cloud division. They're slated to have that spinoff as an independent company, and it's going to trade on the Hang Seng. So keep an eye out for that. This comes off earlier news that they had split into 6 different divisions. So they're definitely looking for some efficiency there. But with respect to BNTX, Brendo, and how it's been trading up almost 10%, I'm seeing a news item here saying no company-specific news. I don't know if you're able to find anything on that.
No, yeah. I didn't actually. Yeah, just an absolute tear, as I was saying. Daily chart is just ugly as it gets for BNTX, but straight downside so far today. More headlines. There are more people circulating that. Netflix headlines as well, guys. Is there, or was there, a trade in Alibaba for you today?
Oh, I just said Alibaba can basically go directly to hell and don't even pass go or anything like that. I love it. I hear Sharif in my ear laughing there. That's the best. I like this guy. Okay, so yeah. I mean, pretty disastrous for us on not disastrous. I mean, Alibaba is the one red name that we're going to have today. And yeah, you know, we started the day short there, 84 break. We kind of like that trade. So for now, I know surge traders in the way. I'm only short Meta 249.30. That's all that I'm short. Meta 249.30. So that's now it's $1.10 in the money. We'll address that as we go. But yeah, Alibaba again tried the short again right here against 84.50. That's 84.50. We tried it against the high of the day, which at that time was 60. It got taken out, and then that's it, man. We could have, and then we tried again long. I was like, okay, if it's not weak, it's strong. So. Yeah, that was a good one. Turns out not to be the case at all because there it is again. Nice move. Broke. We should have just gone short off VWAP right there. Broke through, and now you're all the way down about $1. So yeah, missed opportunities for me there, and we should have done a little bit better for sure on this trade. So yeah, I'm happy with it, but not thrilled. Alibaba to the downside. We just should have stayed short. Hard to hold it about $1 against us, Max. We talked about that yesterday about what we wanted to do when a stock moves like that, and we kind of joked about what do you want to do? Just hold it $1 against you and then have it come all the way back. Well, that was exactly the case right there. But you know what the case? Murder was the case that they gave me. And right now, we are running from that case because there it is right now. Bang. Spin the money because that's $1.10 right there on Meta in what is a very, very opportunistic market today. I feel like this has been maybe the best market we've seen in a bit for me anyways, for holding on to these shorts, getting some follow through, and actually the trend being your friend today. I mean, that short has basically been pretty on point here. If you're going to look at the NASDAQ, the short's been pretty good since, well, the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
So if you're trading off levels or anything like that, I feel like today would have been a great day for you. I mean, it's just clear as day, these shorts, and they never really went against you. We had one little pop up there in the NASDAQ, but now you're starting to retrace back down. So, hey, look, man, to each their own. Not everything's going to be easy all the time, but I feel like today that was a pretty good move to the downside off of some key levels as the NASDAQ now down 0.1. The problem is, of course, as we keep talking about the debt ceiling here, and we basically are sort of hostage to any headlines, Max.
Yeah, I could have gotten pretty beat up trying to go long on the dip on some of these moves this afternoon after, what is that, 10 a.m. or 12:30, sorry, it kind of started going down. That did happen to me a bit, but thankfully I gave up very early this afternoon. But now we're like at some levels where I feel like you could go long. I don't know what's being said right now. Obviously, some moves being made, like 10 handles on the ES. This BABA is putting in an interesting bottom here, but I'm not going long BABA until we get to 80. Once again, that like clean $5 level at 85 holds on BABA. So interesting price action on this one. Maybe should have been going short off 85, but like, you know, that wasn't the plan. That wasn't the plan. And I mean, you could have held it $1 against you, but it only goes 60 cents in the end. So
no, I don't. I think we're just joking about that.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that we definitely want to be able to teach here is, you know, patience and to be accurate with your trades and, you know, to give yourselves, hey, what's up, guys? Brad. I don't know. It's still on Max. All right.
Apple specifically, but big tech in general. We were wondering if we would get some leadership once again from this group today, coming off of, you know, it's been 2-3 weeks of the NASDAQ just on an absolute tear. So yes, a pullback definitely needed here. But here we go again. The overall market about to make a new low on the day. Apple trying to lead that to the downside. I was going to show you this as well. There was a bit of a reversal there in the past little while. For the 10-year, this is a daily chart. This is the 10-year. The 2-year, though, however, still holding up. We got to 4.41 there at the highs early on this morning, but yields still, or at least for most of the day, have been hurting.
Yeah, I just noticed that little look on the 10-year. But yeah, Tesla is the one that I traded in big cap world today. With respect to Apple, you know, we've been hearing a lot about China and the decoupling of their relationship. So it looks as if, you know, with the new restrictions on Micron, there is this kind of protectionist feel to the market again, and I don't think that that bodes well for Apple at the moment.
There's some more comments there coming through from Speaker McCarthy, but nothing significant anyways. But overall, as we said, market back downside once again.
The only news I'm seeing right now is, and we talked about this last week, DeSantis to announce his presidential run tomorrow. I don't think that that's anything too mind-blowing or anything like that. So we can always look, I mean, I was going to say we could look at DWAC, but I don't think last time. Wow, right now getting whacked right now is Meta. And the whole market is collapsing again here today. Like I said, I think today is definitely a good day if you're looking at things. But over there to, what are we talking about, big tech right now? Yeah, so the biggest of the tech, Apple. This was the #1 name that we had on our list. Well, we had PLTR long today, but we also had Apple short. And I mean, again, not to continuously beat a dead horse, but here's the trade for Apple, and there's my out. And unfortunately, we could still be in this. It's bouncing off the bottoms again. This may be a reload long, but I'm not going long. So again, here today, short, 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 short. It's Sticky No Nation, and we on fire. And that's just what it's all about. We're shorting this level all day for Apple. We're below VWAP. We're still well below it. Here's the 200 period. Everything is sloping down. And we actually called the short basically off the earnings day. And it's been sort of hovering around this 175. We got up to there. We poked our head a little bit above it. And now we're starting to head back to the downside. I still think Apple tests this 165. I think we go lower. I'm nervous about China. I'm obviously nervous about that Micron doing yesterday. And I don't know. I mean, Tesla's kind of going the other way to the upside. They actually have some news to talk about. Apple, you know, love their products. Everything is great with Apple. I don't have a problem anywhere. They had a fine today. They had to, well, not a fine, but the EU, I guess, is looking for, what, $14 billion on some sort of a tax agreement. Yeah, as if. So we'll see if that ever settles down. I don't think that's anything to do with this move. But Apple downside today, down basically with the market, 1.2 versus 1.5. And yeah, that's something that we talked about earlier. I like the relative weakness in Apple. And just like I said, it was, you know, a good day, obviously, for Apple, and that's just following the market. So if Apple's going to be short, obviously the market's going to be short as well. And it's been a good day today for Apple. I want to stay net short all of these names. It's just we got out at what I thought was key levels here on Apple, right down there to 172. Felt like that was going to be an opportunity to bounce, and we haven't been wrong. It's bouncing off 170, 180 3 times now. I just can't find myself to take a long.
I was able to take a long just now off of my Tesla level at 186.50. This is just like very, very small starter position because I would like to get it just below 186 if that does come in, and it just might come in right now as the market starts to kind of crash. Maybe this is not the play, but Tesla really holding up at these levels. You can see this was the low on the open, and we still haven't even touched that today. So this is the strong one today with AMD, which is also touching that 108 right now. AMD was a banger long today off of the open and still not even close to its open price at 107. Also a banger short right back down. So, you know, some of these names holding up. Obviously, Apple, very weak today. And what was the other one? NVIDIA, also pretty weak on the day. So, I don't know. I think it's a stock picker's market with the large caps today. Tesla and Meta and AMD being those strong ones that gave you the longs off the open. We'll see what happens going into the close here. Not looking great so far.
Just seeing some more comments coming through here, guys, on the debt ceiling. GOP lawmaker McHenry saying the debt ceiling negotiations still have significant differences on spending. So that is not good. Here's Zoom. Speaking of not good. Like that transition?
Yeah, I like that.
Almost 8% here, back to day lows for Zoom coming off the earnings report. It's worth noting, heavy selling volume as high as it's been since the beginning of the year on Zoom, back to the downside here after the forecast missed for ZM today.
Yeah, and it was a pop-up. Come to the chart if we can, Bradley, here, because right at the earnings call at 4:05, you got a big bounce up from 72 all the way into 78 there, retraced and sold off. And this morning, look at the amount of volume we have on the red candle not opening. There was probably a lot of market on open orders to the sell side as it really made its way down, Brendo. 8%. Funny enough, though, they're still profitable.
Good for Zoom. Rundown brought to you by Surge Trader, where traders can get a funded trading account up to $1 million. Keep 90% of the profits, trade stocks, indices, Forex, crypto, and more. Program has simple rules, no time limits. Go to surgetrader.com/TTV. Use promo code TTV for 10% off. Shout out to Surge Trader, bringing you the rundown this afternoon.
All right. Oh, man, we're $1.70 now in the money on Meta as this just keeps on falling. Zoom, just like Lowe's. Remember? We talked about Lowe's?
Yeah.
And we didn't talk too much about it. And Lowe's just does exactly what we thought it would, right back up to the upside. And Zoom, basically the same thing. And I feel like we need to be trading, obviously, some of these earnings a little bit more than we tend to be sometimes. But there it is, just a nice move to the downside. Zoom actually getting accelerated right now. Made that move back to 67. And again, look at this. There's the move early. Big move down, big flush down to 65. Big retracement up. This is the area too short between 67 and 67.50. So yeah, man, I mean, I'm just doing too much at 10 o'clock, but that's a good spot there. Should have been looking at it for sure. Missed opportunity. And honestly, this is a missed opportunity. I mean, when you get a bad report was coming in, and the thing is, you don't even have to be right about the direction. You just have to be right about what you're seeing right here. And that was some nice consolidation off of a big move up with decent volume. You even get a big red candle in here signifying potentially someone trying to flush this. And there it is. It even comes right back to 67 again twice. So boom, boom. But that's really the best top, 67.50. Definitely missed opportunity on Zoom. But honestly, man, I'm like, I don't even know. Like right now the market is coming down a lot. I hope you guys maybe have a futures position or something on right now. The VIX, yes, is getting unstable, that's for sure, as this market's moving down. Now down 1.3% and still going, man. We're $2 now, $2 in the money on this Meta trade, and the market continues to flush. I don't know the levels that I've looked at again before, and we've talked about this over and over again, and I made this call today, so shout out to Dan Emmons and everybody. What did I say would happen at 13.8? You know, we knew this flush was coming, man. Like I said, I should just be trading the TQs or put on a contract or something. That's a flush down there of 100 points on the NASDAQ. Probably looks very similar on the ES. Flush down. Now you're going to get to this 13,640. Like, this is another level. I don't know if we get here today, but this is one that's been held a couple days again. 13,640, 13,650, looking for a flush. And then honestly, man, we could wind up down here somewhere again. It hasn't been that long since we've been here. Just last week, 13,400, 13,300. So look out below on the NASDAQ. It is time to come in, and this is why we're raising some cash and buying some different names. We talked about this the other day. We bought some Pfizer yesterday, which is working. Looking to get him some more names. I told you maybe Home Depot as well, Max. But Home Depot today has been on an absolute tear. Now it's come back in. But look at this first minute. This first part of the day here on Home Depot when we just climbed all the way to 298, but maybe this is coming in. I like a Home Depot around that 285, some of those post-earning lowish areas. That's a name that I like to get into.
Yeah, this market's really falling apart right now. I just got long Amazon for the potential bounce play here, 115 being a key level from earlier today. So we'll see if this level can hold here. If the market's going to bounce, I think this is the name that I want to play. Forgot about this one when I was talking about the strongest ones on the open, and Amazon hasn't even given up its whole move yet either. So we'll see what happens on this one. I don't know. This long is looking pretty sketchy right now, though. Yeah, 41.50 holding for now on the ES here. So could be all right. Could be all right. 41.50 hold. We bounce right back up. I'm looking at these what these people are saying, and I mean I'm no analyst, but none of it sounds all that bad to me. I mean, significant differences, but then Speaker McCarthy said we had very good discussions. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening. If we get the bounce, I think this is the one that I want to be in, and I don't know where I can add to this, unfortunately. Tesla gave up that low, so I did get out of that. That was pretty harsh. So thankfully, only had a tiny little position on Tesla there, and didn't add to it. Just bailed on it over here, getting a ton of wicks on these charts. Clearly, the volatility is coming in, and the dark prints are looking bad on our charts right now. But maybe Tesla back through 186. I don't know. I don't want to get too long right now. This is quite the move down, but this Amazon's like 30 cents in the money now, so pretty good. I kind of wish I added more.
You're always going to get some kind of pullbacks. That's a good trade.
Yeah.
I don't know how far out. I mean, Amazon is actually green on the day.
Exactly.
So that could be something to sort of hang your hat on there if you were looking at anything. So I like that trade there for Amazon. Let's not think that this market's going to completely collapse. I mean, it is, but you know, there are going to be some bouncing areas there. We've already seen Meta today down at that 246 level. Sorry, not. Oh yeah, no, that is today. Earlier this morning. So let's see if we can get a 246.80, something like that. We're just bouncing now off 247. I actually be happy with a 247 fill. So let's think about that coming into play there. 247 for Meta. If we do get something down there, I think that would be probably well worth it. Some kind of a trade down there. I do like your Amazon trade. That's a good one. What's up, Chef Joe? Just teaching some supply and support reaction to some supplies to your daughter. That's great. She said, Dad, say hi to him. Yeah, hey, hi to Chef Joe's daughter. So thank you for learning all about the stock market. I think there's a definitely, and shout out to your dad, Mr. Joe, because I feel like there's a lot of taught lessons in our schooling about this kind of stuff. So that's why I tell my kids all the time, look for names you want to invest in, try to find out why, and then you know, try to go for it a little bit. So that's what I'm doing. What's up, New York, Monday, New York, and everybody out there in the chat. Let's try to find some trades, right? What I wanted to look at was XOM. XOM right now in the oil patch. We've talked a little bit about oil and what it's been doing, trying to bounce off that 70 or up to around that $70 level right here. But here goes XOM. Look where we've came right back into again. And this is possible support and resistance here. So what's up, Chef Joe. Coming back in, that's a 200 period moving average, also coinciding with right where we were this morning. So this morning we break the 200. We go from 106 up to 108. That's 2 straight dollars. And now the pullback is on. So right now you are pulled back in. Obviously on this move, you wick down there. I think this is potential for a long. So let's try this. Let's try the long here. I mean, we're still short Meta, so that's fine. We're going to try a little long right now. Oops, that's the wrong chart. We just took it right there at 66, I think. Yep, part filled there at 66. We'll wait for more. If it does pull back, we'll get a little bit longer. But for right now, 5-minute chart, down here, that bottom, let's play off that bottom wick. 106.37, so that's 30 cents. So back up to 107, we'll get a piece out if that can work. Then VWAP would be great. So try to average this in a little bit back here and then get out if we break back down below 30s. So I like that trade. Let's see if it works for us. Right now, that's XOM starting a long position just here at 66. So we have our targets. Let's see if we can get filled up on those. That's an early position right now for me on that one. And then Meta 247, again, we just talked about that, but we've already been down here today. So bouncing off a little bit now doesn't surprise me. But what about this area? I'm not even putting a bid, to be honest with you. Hopefully it falls down into here and we can decide when we get to 247. So that's what we're going to do, but it wouldn't surprise me if we can retrace that. Meta, super strong, wow. But I'm surprised that we got such a good win on the short here off VWAP right there. So let's watch out for Meta. Hopefully it continues to fall. But yeah, no bids at 247. If it gets down there, we'll reevaluate. There goes, whatever, man. It's 10 cents in the money XOM, but we need this to get up. We can always take a piece out here for 80s, get 15 cents or so. But ultimately, we're looking for a VWAP retracement back up to the upside. So let's try an 85 fill to get 20 cents, and then we'll look at 107. But so far, so good here on this trade.
Yeah, so Tesla gives up that 186 level, gets right back above. Now we're in the 50s again. So yeah, maybe should have taken that one through that 186 again. I mean, I'm not trusting this bounce yet. Look at the NQ. This is a big move down, and we're getting like a 50% retracement or so right now. Yeah, it's about 50%. So can definitely continue going here on the market. I am not going to start, you know, jamming into a bunch of longs thinking that we're about to just recover right now. I was taking a look at Palantir though, which did wick that level that we like, that 1250 level, gets to 1249, 48 something, starts to go back to the upside. So if we can get a dip back into like 1255 maybe, 1253, I will see if I can get along Palantir for that bounce. This one not really making the move that the market's making, and Palantir not necessarily always going to trade with the market. So yeah, maybe a Palantir is the one to get along. I'm going to place a bid on that. And that Amazon, I got 60% of Amazon out, 20, and we will see what happens with the rest. Not going to let that go against me at all. This is just a little retracement trade off this 115 level. So we break 115, I'm gone on this one. Just looking for maybe the 50 period maximum return on Amazon. This is not like get back to VWAP, get back to high of day kind of thing. Not in a market that looks like this. No new news that I can see on this market stuff. So just wait and see, I guess. Hopefully Palantir can dip a little bit more. I feel like we get one more run in this one today.
Where is your buy side for Palantir?
Like mid-50s if I can get it. I don't think it really wants to dip that badly, though. It seems like it made that dip and I missed it.
Yeah, there's always more. There's always more. All right, so yeah, XOM 10 cents in the money. We're still working on that one. I mean, you're getting out of Amazon. I like that trade for sure. And now we just have to sort of look for something else. I mean, we don't really have to do anything. Dan Emmons gave some levels there in the chat, so guys, go find those. Yeah, let's see. Okay, yeah, what's up, Barb? I see your note. Someone tell Sean to stop shorting the stocks that she's trading. So, I mean, if you're short with me, I think it's all good. Disney, okay, what's up? Yeah, I like Disney. We've talked about this for the longer term. Oh, wow, breaking down through 90. Okay, good. What's up, Jay Lee? This is a good little level there. Yeah, Disney already looked like it, or well, it doesn't look like it did pretty much come back into $90 there today. And I mean, on the daily chart, that's a pretty good bottom right there. I like to trade stock that are a little closer to VWAP. I mean, that's kind of the patience game that I'm trying to do right now. So right now, this is pretty low. But I mean, could you get a bounce off 90? It happened 2 days ago. So yeah, I feel like this is a decent spot if you're looking for a long. What's the market doing? Okay, still, I mean, the market is still, you know, it's tough to make these calls, but at the same time, like this is the ES, so we'll look at this more for Disney. 41.50 again, bottom. Still below the 50 period. I really like to catch some longs if we were above the 50. Now, it didn't work there, obviously, because, you know, that long gave you an opportunity to short it back in. But I don't know if we want to really be protecting any downside levels right now, considering what this market is doing. And then we're bouncing off the 50 period again. So there it is, bounce. There's bounce, bounce. Now you're coming back down into the downside. So for me on the ES, Disney is at a great spot. I think if you're going to swing something, I don't know if swinging right now is the right idea because, again, you have this debt talk. And I almost think that even if there's a sort of an agreement reached, the market still goes down is what I think on that. I just feel like the market's been up here for so long. Someone's going to, you know, get into that, look at the numbers and say, wait a second, you know, this wasn't a great sign for the economy, or this is not great for the U.S., it's not great for their debt rating, something like that. I might actually consider shorting Disney through this break. So that's 89.98. You could play this short against this. So 30 cents, 90, 30. You know, now it looks like it's going to start to bump up a little bit off that 90, but I actually like this break short. So I'm kind of almost thinking the other way. There's some supply here that got worked through. Obviously, there's some resistance up here at 21. We've tried to go there the last 15 minutes. Now it looks like it wants to break lower. And if Disney can't hold 90, I mean, it matches with that, you know, 2 days ago that we showed you right here. That was 89.90. I actually like the short. So I'm short. XOM's not going to be for a very long time, but we are short Meta, which, I mean, Meta right now, we told you we'd, geez.
Oh my God.
We told you we'd have a look at this near 247. This is why I don't have a bid, because look at this, just falling down. The market's not even super aggressive right now, and there goes Meta all the way to the downside. So this is now a $2.10 winner on board here for Meta. So yeah, man, we're here, we're trading, and Meta to the downside right now pretty aggressively. So I think, if anything, I'm kind of talking myself into this Disney short. If anything, XOM, watch out, that retraced off of 80. We could have taken 15 pennies, but we didn't. We're waiting for a little bit more than that. Yeah, Disney possible breakdown through this 90, 90, 90, 98 level, like 89, 98, something like that. On a break, that's the day's low. I think you can give it a little bit more. That day low from the before was 89, 89. So maybe that's something to look at.
Disney
you like
looking
that? You want to go long?
interesting.
I know you're still in Amazon, right?
No, I bailed
you're out
on
of
Amazon, which now did actually retrace all the way back to
Amazon was
115.
positive on
So decent out there, but it did bounce off 115. Still trying to get along Palantir. This one's a little slow though, but obviously the volume could pick up on that. Amazon, maybe if we wick 115 again, but I mean, look at this market. We're making another leg down here, almost at lows once again. So we would have to make a decisive higher low. I think I'm just gonna hang out for a bit, wait, see what happens. I don't want to be jumping in front of anything. If I had shorts on right now, obviously would not be covering, would be waiting for a new low of day, but not ready to go long yet and not going to short the bottom here. So I don't know, just wait, I think, is the only way to play this at the moment, unless there's some kind of small cap that's rallying right now, but I don't see anything there. That CWBR from this morning, I took a look at this one, ended up basically screwing everybody on every side a bunch of times. So I believe at least this wick is definitely real. Quadunks to the downside. I don't know if this one's real, but we finally break back above this like 4 level and screams to the upside, then clears everybody out on the downside, then on the upside, and now we're just chilling in this range right now, which looks pretty dangerous if you are, even if you're long or short, like I don't like either side of this trade right now. The algo pretty nasty on this name, up 300%. So I mean, if I had to bet one way, I'd say it goes down. So that means it's probably going up. What about Palantir? Still not filling me. I feel like I just have to punch some shares here of Palantir. It's not going to fill me down in the low 50s. Maybe try to get a fill at 56 here. Try to get long for that move back up. Market kind of really slowed down just now, didn't it? No news still. Everything just making lows. Meta at that 247 level, which I did like this morning for the long. Now all the way back there, I don't think I like that at the moment for a long, but levels here, 246.50, maybe if we do turn around. Hard to say what to do at the moment. And NVIDIA breaks the low. So NVIDIA, the one that remains weak today, bounces right off that 307.50 level when the bounce does come in. So maybe that was a banger short there, holding the teal really nicely to the downside there. Yeah.
We're not. I see some people in there. You know, we're just going over some levels here, right? I mean, this is not, and I'll take a book from Arun over there and Sharif and everything that they were talking about in the midday show. You know, sometimes if you're short already, like we are on Meta here, and I'm just holding this against this 247, it's easy. You're $2 in the money. You can hold it. You can see what happened. But just because the market, you know, is going to the downside, if you don't see any trades that give you any levels, right? This is not gambler's fallacy or anything like that. This is just like trying to find some opportunities that make sense right now. And you don't, and you know, cash is a position. And I think that term is overused a lot, but you don't have to be in anything. It doesn't mean just because you're seeing this market move like this. And you know, one of the things that I've learned, especially, and this is over the years and years and years, is like you don't need that FOMO.
Yeah.
You know, there's always going to be another trade. You talked about that AMD move, right? I mean, and right now I'm getting anxious thinking that I should be out of this Meta because it is starting to bounce around a little bit. And there it is, just makes another move down. So maybe I'm okay being in this Meta. So we do have our final position here on XOM. We wanted to buy ahead of this 37 area. That's the bottom. So, it's 30. I put 37, it's actually 35, so let's put a stop order in there. And we'll get out of everything if it takes that. So we're going to wait to see, but I feel like this is a good opportunity right here on XOM. I would prefer to find shorts. So if there is a move up, I would like to take some shorts and short. But for right now, you know, I feel like this is decent. This is still a positive, so let's just justify the position. If it goes against you, it goes against you, man. I mean, there's not much else you could do. Like, I thought the Lakers had a chance. Like I told Brad today, I think the Boston Celtics should win tonight, honestly. No shots. See, so that means they're going to win for sure. Where's my account right now? But no, like Jason Tatum, these guys, but they could also flop, right? You saw yesterday, and we talked about the Lakers' record on when they're 0-3 down. But this is an example here of the stock market. So here we go. Now we're in the money as it starts to go back up to the upside right now on XOM. But look, a positive name with catalyst. We saw Chevron get upgraded today. We've seen oil bouncing around. And then you come back right into where we were this morning. So I feel like this is good. It's already made a bottom and it's bounced back to the upside. To me, I think the odds are nicely in the favor here for a bounce back up to the upside. Now, whether or not we go all the way up here to 78, 80s, retake some of these levels, sure. If you have that crystal ball, that's great. And maybe it does come up to 108. But I'm just trying to say we have some good opportunities here on XOM, so we're going to take this. And that's what we're doing. And then right now, just like I'm seeing, look at all this consolidation here on Meta, right? Kind of matching with what we've seen down here. Then we took off. So now you could say, hey, maybe 247 is going to hold. So is this a bad out if I take it right now at 44? Or is taking $2 on the trade a pretty good return? You know, so if you don't hold, then you don't get these opportunities to take these levels out. So sometimes you have to do the best you can in front of whatever the market is. So for right now, is it a maximum position for me on Meta? No. Is this a maximum position for me on XOM? I like the amount of shares I have, but we can always put on more. And that's the benefit of sitting here on a prop floor. I don't need to decide how many shares, what my risk is. I've already have that sort of pre-planned. I know how much I want to lose per trade. I know that my buying power is virtually unlimited, to be honest with you. So if there is a great opportunity, then I can step up, put risk where risk is necessary. And right now, I like this XOM trade, so we're in it. And we're almost out. I'm debating right here. What if we take this 50 period? That's all the way back to 248. We're going to give up $1 on that. I don't like that. There we go. Here we go. Now we're getting excited. So now we're a whopping 13 cents in the money for XOM. I mean, it's there. We'll take another fill at 65. But there it is. Some reloads on the buy. Now we take it to the upside. So there it is right there. We had 6 times the shares on XOM that we have on Meta. But let's still hope that Meta can come back in for us and give us a 247 fill. I'm going to put a bid right here at 247 teens. Hopefully that fills. But for right now, it is time to go back to Brendan at the big desk with our guest of the day, one of our favorites. You guys kind of look alike, kind of?
You think so?
It's Frank Caberna. What's up, Frank?
Yeah, an important day to have Frank with us as well to get an understanding of exactly what on earth is going on with this debt ceiling nonsense that continues to drive price action here. So sensitive are not only equities when it comes to these headlines, but also some of the interest rates moving, as we've been talking about a little bit this morning. Let's bring in Frank Caberna, head strategist over at IG US. We'll talk a little bit about what is the real meaning behind this, I guess. Frank, good to see you as always. When it comes to getting this done before June 1st, I was just reading an article about some of the Republicans now essentially saying that they want to see where they're coming up with this date or how they're coming up with this June 1st deadline, in that, okay, they're saying June 1st, but is it actually June 1st? If you look at the 2-year and the 10-year, you might think, yeah, it is June 1st, because 9 days in a row here, straight to the upside for some of these yields. What are your thoughts as far as interest rates are concerned, and whether or not it is actually a week from now that we have to be worried about this?
Yeah, I mean, whether it's a week or a couple of weeks is maybe up to interpretation. I don't know how you can directly solve whether it is June 1st or 2nd or 3rd or what have you. I would just take it on faith, I guess, from the Treasurer, Janet Yellen, that June 1st is about the date. And yeah, interest rate markets will tell you that that is the date, because you'll remember that about a month ago, especially if you've been watching Treasury bill interest rate action, the 1 month and 2 month and 3 month bill rates, we're seeing some real funky action a couple of weeks ago, essentially when the 1 month bill was going to be under the deadline and the 2 month bill was going to be over the deadline. We were seeing a lot of people pile into that 1 month that would have slipped in under this deadline before the Treasury would technically default if the debt ceiling wasn't raised, versus that 2 months. So this is all to say that interest rates will tell you that's where the market believes it to be. But again, it might be kind of, chicken egg situation of that market telling you what essentially Janet Yellen was also telling you the last few weeks. But this is all to say that it is looking like the first week of June. June 1st is the date that everybody has grabbed onto. But yeah, if you look at interest rate action, especially now that we're so close to that June 1st date, anything that is a month out in terms of that Treasury bill rate, definitely looking like that poses more risk of a technical Treasury default. All saying that we definitely don't have a month. At least the market's pricing in that we definitely don't have a month. Unfortunately, I don't have rates that differ between 3 days from now, a week from now, and what have you. But interest rates have definitely told you what that time frame looks like, and it looks like the market and Janet Yellen and everybody are basically looking at that June 1st date, no matter what. But yeah, interesting swings back and forth here And interesting to see all of this fear coming back into play around the debt ceiling, while the other side of the recent fear that we've been seeing in the overall overarching financial sector here is actually being alleviated to a great extent with the regional bank crisis being lifted a little bit here today. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this stuff affects the interest rate market. But that being said, Brendan, not changing a lot of the probabilities around what people are thinking the Fed will do. It's all looking like the positive sentiment that we're getting from fear coming out of regional banks is far outweighing the negative sentiment of this debt ceiling problem here, at least when you look at interest rate markets. I know stocks seeing a little bit of pressure here, but that to me looks more to be global economic slowdown than U.S.-centric financial sector fear. I don't know what you think about all the price action has been crazy here today.
It's interesting in the sense that how much of this is actually in response to the fact that people are getting a little bit nervous as, that deadline is just around the corner and, 7-8 days away, or how much of it is, as you're saying, fundamentally driven in the sense that maybe we do, or maybe we are starting to see a little bit of a slowdown as everyone has been talking about going into the second half of the year. And I tied this back into your first point that you wanted to mention here, in that the Fed has been getting a little more hawkish once again over the past week and a half leading into the June meeting now, with 22% of a chance pointing towards maybe there's still more hiking to do rather than not only a pause, but maybe a cut by the end of the year.
Yeah, it's been flip-flopping like crazy the last couple of weeks. And actually, I mean, even today, and this will tell you, I guess, all you need to know about the potential fear of this debt ceiling and everything else is you still have regional banks up a good chunk here today. You still have the Russell and smaller to mid-cap stocks, a lot of them hanging on to gains. The Russell is now trading around unchanged, but outperforming the NASDAQ today by almost 1.5%. And interest rates, as you can see, the 2-year rate here in the U.S., the highest that it's been in the last couple of months. And of course, regional banks have a lot of ground to cover to get back to unchanged on the year. But interest rate markets taking this very well, and also the Fed, and maybe, we're just, we don't take the easy shots, the layups, so to speak, here, Brendan, because you were even on here a few weeks ago talking about how the last FOMC was interpreted in the marketplace as being more dovish, but Powell's words were in fact pretty hawkish. And now if you go to the chances of what the Fed will do at the next FOMC, it's gone from being a 50-50 shot of whether they're going to cut interest rates or hold them. And that was at the height of, the regional bank fears and the debt ceiling fears and everything else over the last few weeks here, to now, even today, actually, the odds have jumped to 27% chance that we get a rate hike in June. And now it's actually in July, 50-50 between whether they'll be where we're at now or 25 basis points higher. And there was no chance 2 weeks ago that they were going to hike again at June's meeting, or now, like I say, the next meeting after June in July. They're looking at a 50-50 split between holding unchanged or hiking. And this is all to say that, the Fed has said hawkish stuff over the last couple of months in the face of this regional bank crisis. Obviously, they have more information than you, me, or anybody here on the street around the status of the different regional banks here in the U.S. And it's looking like, between the price action of those regional bank stocks and interest rate projections for the next couple of meetings from the Fed, that the U.S. is on the up and up, and you're seeing it as well play out in the Forex market as U.S. dollar now moves back to highs against the Japanese yen here year to date. They're not back to those highs that we saw last year, which of course were 30-year highs for the US dollar against yen, but closer to those highs than we've been all year throughout all of the US-centric fear that we've seen since March here. And also today as well, putting in highs on the year against Australian dollar, not quite there, euro and British pound still holding on to gains against USD on the year. But that's three different markets that are telling you that, I mean, I guess it could tell you two different things, which is one, either the US is on the up and up, all the fear that was baked into the regional bank stocks, interest rate markets, vis-a-vis the Fed and what they're going to do in the future, and the US dollar Forex market, either those fears are being alleviated, or this US dollar could be a little bit of a flight to quality if there's just actually greater overall fear across global markets. I don't know which you're buying into here, but it's definitely all been translated as good for USD.
Yeah, it's definitely an inflection point in the sense that something needs to happen or something needs to give here. It seems, for a resolution to be found, not only in equities, but in some of these other areas that we're talking about as well. Interesting, we get a UK interest rate decision coming up this week. I mean, still trending in the right direction, downside as we saw with the last CPI reading in the US, but a little more room to go, a little bit more distance to travel as far as they are concerned.
Yeah, British pound has definitely been the strongest of the non-US dollar major currencies here. And a lot of that has been owing to just UK data being stronger than the Euro areas, stronger than Australia's, than Canada's, than Japan's. And this will be a really interesting inflation rate coming out of the UK here, not only for the British pound versus the US dollar and versus the euro and everything else. That'll be, of course, first tier direct. If we get, a strong inflation number from the UK translating to higher interest rates coming from the Bank of England in the near future, translating to a stronger pound there. But also, if UK inflation that has held higher for longer than any of the major economies here, still double digits as of the last reading, if it does come in at the expected 8% or even lower, though, of course, over the last 2 years, all you've heard is we want to calm inflation. We want inflation lower, not only in the US, but globally. If inflation is going to be trending lower so harshly in every region of the world here, including the UK, where it's been the strongest, if they can't hold on to some strong economic numbers, yeah, it might be nice in the short term to see this inflation turning around, but I could see this being interpreted as, negative economic sentiment that, all this data is trending towards lower inflation and everything else, but is it trending towards just general slowing of the economy? No one wants to spend money anymore. No one wants to, on the producer side, invest in future growth. It'll be a really interesting number to see because, like I say, if they do hold in at 9 or 10%, you'll see probably that pound continuing to see the strength that it has seen over the last couple of weeks as yen and Australian dollar and everything else have been falling relative to USD. But also, if on the flip side you see that lower print, Brendan, you maybe see that pound weakness, but also maybe just globally, are we seeing enough data points now to tell you that the economy is just slowing down between inflation? And of course, then we have the PCE number. I know that you love to monitor and the Fed loves to monitor later in the week here in the US. So it's a thin line that we're trying to balance here as a global economy, moving inflation lower. But if it comes crashing lower, are we on the verge of an economic slowdown?
Yeah, quickly, just to wrap things up, I want to get your thoughts here. If, let's go both ways. If, a deal is reached before next Thursday, I believe is June 1st, where's the move, or where's the most significant move? Is it in the dollar? Is it in interest rates specifically? If there isn't a deal, which direction do either of those head?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I think it is in the Forex market and the interest rate market. And I think what we've seen historically is on days where we're feeling good about this deal being reached, it's US dollar strength and it's U.S. interest rate strength in their stocks. It's of course the number one everybody wants to look to, Brendan. But I mean, if you can tell me a direct correlation between this debt ceiling being raised or not, and how that's being reflected in the stock market, let me know, my friend. Because it's hard to see. But on days where we're feeling good about this, you're seeing those interest rate projections move higher. You're seeing that U.S. dollar strength build in. But if they can't reach it, I think directly that's a lowering of sentiment, negative sentiment for the U.S. dollar as being a flight to quality currency and people demanding U.S. interest rates and on down the line. But stocks, a little less clear to me right now.
Yeah, uncertainty at the highest it's been for quite some time. Anyways, Frank Caberna, Senior Content Strategist at IGUS. Thank you so much, sir. A pleasure as always.
Thanks, Brendan.
Oh, there it is right there. So a little bit of a macro look on some of these debt talks. And what's going to happen here? We've seen the dollar, we've seen some of those rates, and it's just all part of it. So when we're sitting here scalping some of these markets, now you kind of know why. It's kind of going back and forth. Who knows what the situation is going to be. And I want to thank Frank Caberna, again, the smartest guy in the room, and it's nice to have him part of our team. So shout out to you, Frank, right there. And thanks, Brendan, for that. Great. It's now 3:01, and we're into power hour right now. While we were gone, we kind of put on another trade there on Meta. Meta came in, didn't look like it wanted to break 248, so I'm going to wait to see if that does happen. But there it is. Hopefully this comes in. That's the 50 period. We're going to wait to see where this goes to the downside. So we just took another trade at 76, but all it's done is give us an average price from our short up here. So let's wait to see what happens with Meta. And then those of you that thought that maybe XOM didn't have a chance, well, there it is. It goes all the way back to that 50 period right there, 83s or 82s, something like that, 83s with an out there off of 50s. So that's a nice 30-cent win. Now we only have 20% left on this trade. We'll look to reload it possibly, but for right now, we're waiting for this. Again, more news to hit. The last story that I have is that DeSantis running. We already know about that, I thought. Anyway, so that's come through. Here we go. Yes, sir, let's go. Now we're spinning it. Now there goes Meta to the downside. It's a quick 30 cents, but we want a little bit more. This time, let's be smart about it and put a bid down in the teens. We didn't do it last time. We'll go there. Lucky number 13. We'll see if we can get a fill down there on Meta, as it's resisted sort of this area many times here today. That's the open, and we just resisted it again, well, supported it, I guess. Resistance on the upside. We stopped at 248. We took the short. It's now 30 cents in the money, but we didn't take it, so actually went almost 40 cents in the money there. Let's wait to see if we get something in the teens. That's the play. And then honestly, XOM, we've already taken our money out, but we still do have a little bit on this one. Long here at 47, sorry. It's Meta short 52s. Hopefully this can come in again, back up to the upside. If it does come in, we'll probably buy a little bit more down here, but our out still remains the same. Right now it's 12 cents worth of an out. We're going to average this back in around 45-ish or so on XOM, but Meta's pulling back in, which is nice.
Yeah, I also just got long Tesla there. While we were gone there for a second, there was a bunch of sides that got filled on the offer, like 200,000 shares approximately, through this 186.50 level, which has been a key level all day and was my level this morning when I was trying to get long earlier. These sides getting filled around a level that I like, I'm going to go long. Obviously, lots of room for Tesla to go back up. Let's try to find some stuff without this wick, but like this 187.50 kind of level, definitely possible here, trying to break 187 right now. I don't think we're getting all the way back up to VWAP today, but you never know. We've seen these power hour rallies out of Tesla before. Obviously, a little more beat up than it might have used to be when we would see Tesla just fly through power hour. But I'm banking on a little bit of a bounce back here on the Tesla. Yesterday's close being like almost 189, so can we get back there? Who knows? I'll be long if we do. Going to try to get something out above 187 if it does get there. The market had a little bit of a flush there, but we seem to have kind of soaked it up a little bit for now. Still just kind of dancing around, not doing much. Higher lows for now on the market, but not breaking that like 13,750 that appears to be resistance right now on NASDAQ. What else is moving around right now? Amazon held that 115 like 3 more times, so I should probably be long Amazon as well, or instead. That 115, obviously a key level here on Amazon today. Yeah, this could definitely break out here, back above this 115.25 level. Amazon not really caring what the market's doing at the moment, just kind of holding flat as we, I guess the market's holding flat too, but yeah, maybe this is the one to go long if we get back down there. Palantir never failed me. NVIDIA back above 307, so that one's looking good too. So all the tech names kind of bouncing a bit. Meta did that nice flush there for you. So yeah, Meta not wanting to get back above 247. Yeah, I think.
I mean, Meta's not really flushing. I don't know. We're still back and forth with everything right now. What else do you guys want to look at there? If someone hates Disney and has kids, what? Yeah, we're going to look at that Disney trade because we were just talking about that again on for XOM is what we're on right now. But let's go over to Disney. Yeah, so this is pretty much barcoding, and you know, it's like if you scan this, it gives you one free ticket to the theme park right now. So you got to do that, and then it'll show up on your phone. And if it doesn't, yeah, don't blame me. That may not be the case. But right there, 90.22. I still think it's a short, but it's bouncing off 90. So if you're in this name, fine. But for me, nah. You're still way. Where's VWAP up there? Where is VWAP on here? Yeah, so we're way up, 91.1. It should be the same as here, yeah, 91.1. So, yeah, not really in the pocket yet for me on this trade for Disney. Hopefully it can come in and give us some kind of a trade. Let's check out Micron right now as that's moving a little bit. Isn't Micron a new NASDAQ name? Let's see. Yes, it is right there. So, again, Disney has some catalysts around it. I feel like the tech sector a little bit more. We talked yesterday all about shorting Micron at 67, and there it is today again, 67. So it's actually higher than it was yesterday. Yesterday we had written down 67. Oh no, yesterday was the same levels. It's just higher. Yesterday these were the shorts we had on Micron yesterday, and including this short too. Yeah, so it's all the same levels, 66.50, 66.70. So then today when you're looking at the chart, 67 has now been the high there, and you're kind of just doing the same dance that Meta was thinking about. Now Meta's coming down. The same kind of a dance now, looking to break a little bit lower. But this low break goes right into some of this pre-market nonsense. So again, I'd rather be short up here, but if you have to find a trade, I think Micron breaking this bottom of 66.20 isn't horrible. You have the 50 period right here. You have a lot of, I mean, you're still a ways away. A bump up would be ideal. But if you can get that break there, that 66.16, and then you use the 50 period as your out, that's 34. That's about 18 cents worth of risk. So I think that's worth it, especially if we do get a pull down here into the closing of this day. AMD, again, great out. I think it was Chill Vibe. Shout out to you. We were short AMD all day, but unfortunately we got out at 108.40 there. Didn't hold for the 108 break. I think you did. You were mentioning that you cashed out, so there it is, a nice move down. Oh, I see on the screen there, Corey with a super chat. So let's go over and have a quick look at this one. What is it all about? Shout out to Sean and all. Thank you so much. Shout out to Max. Shout out to you, Corey, as well. I hope you're making some money with us here today. So, yeah, in what is a good day, I just hope it's a good day for all. I mean, sometimes these markets can be pretty tricky plays. So we're in it. We're waiting, and I like that Micron break. But for right now, I don't know. Maybe we just take some Meta out. I mean, it's a nice drop down in here for Meta. I could see myself getting a piece out of this Meta trade here into the 40s. We're kind of bouncing off of it right now. That's 38. I mean, a little bit of a push down, and we should be able to get our fill down here in the teens. So let's see if this market has one more leg to the downside. But this is getting me feels that maybe we should get out again on this play. So let's wait to see. But for right now, Meta's short. We're in it, and let's just see if it wants to work.
Yeah, I just got stopped out of that Tesla on that market move down, so I guess the move is not back up. Amazon as well giving up that 115, so everything's starting to make the move back down. I got nothing going on here. Don't know what to look for here. Not looking for the bounce play anymore. I mean, I feel like it could still be in. Some of the names haven't made new lows yet. Amazon, the one that I did really like there, did make a new low there, but still, I mean, a dollar up on the day. Yeah, Tesla still filling size on the bid everywhere, so people selling off that name. Yeah, your Meta is still hanging out below 248.
Yeah, I'm not happy with that Meta trade.
No?
Well,
Well,
I mean,
you know,
yeah, happy
it's
with
nice to be in the money.
happy with the trade, but not in love with the position, and me not getting out at some of those bottoms. So I don't know. What else you guys want to look at right now? All right, so what's up to Lily? What's up to Sam in the chat? What's up to John? What's up, Ponzi Fonzie? Where's Andrew Harris? I mean, you always tell me to shout him out. Maybe he's not here. Again, Beat, what's up? Barranquilla, what's up to you as well? Bears versus Bulls, of course. Rivian, okay. What's up, Super SPAC man? I see you in the chat. You want to talk? I'm so upset with myself about this Meta. Okay, because I'm going to have to put a bid now at 40. That sucks. We are going to wait for a little bit more short in this name. Oh, man, that's going to suck to get stopped out of this for sure. And now I feel like the market, although, you know, sometimes you get flushed down. Like that was just the debt ceiling or whatever that talk was, that it was kind of the meetings have adjourned, I guess. And then we had, I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of these guys just want to keep their names in the, you know, in the business here. McCarthy, McLovin, or whoever any of these guys' names are, just keep wanting to throw some stuff down. And I don't know what's going on here. Until there's an announcement, there's really not an announcement. So I know that sounds ridiculous, but that is kind of the thing there. All right, so I'll put a bid on Meta at 40. I really hope it doesn't really matter. We'll still hold on for it. We're still $1 in the money. We're happy with it, as Max said. So let's just regroup on that. And part of trading, and this is what I really feel like I've improved, and this is, you know, this is for real, is just being a little more patient. You know, we get excited here. I mean, part of the show is supposed to be a little entertaining, so we do celebrate, you know, when we do have some good positions on and some nice trades, but at the same time, it doesn't always have to be like that. I mean, right now the market is what it is. I mean, if you're going to try to find something happening right now, you know, there's reasons why we're banking when this is happening, because it's giving us these shorts. So we find names that we could short and we short them. Then when this happens, you're like, hell yeah, we're having our best day of the month today. So, I mean, that's good for us. But at the same time, we're not going to try to sit here and make something happen when there's clearly isn't. So you want to look at Rivian right now, 14. That's a decent bottom. 5-minute chart, not looking too much there. Good move up, obviously, at the beginning of the day, bouncing off this 200 period. I could see a 14, but I wish something was happening on Rivian. I would default to the man over here, Max, and say that he's had a couple good trades today on Tesla, including one that you just had on, which you're no longer in. But yeah, I think that's where the money is today. We talked about Tesla 185, and I think it's coming back in right now. So shout out to Sticky No Nation. Palantir long paid out today. Apple short. Come on, rest is in there. Tesla right there, and then PACW as well. So we'll have to talk about PACW. Frank Caberna did indicate there a little bit about some of these banks sort of coming back into themselves a little bit, settling sort of, you know, the coup right there on this on the banking concerns. But there still is a concern there with these names. But Tesla at 185, the reason why we talked about that level right into here, that was sort of where we started the day, was 186. But then, I don't know, why did we pick 185? I think it was a little bit of support in here from yesterday. But again, if Tesla wants to fail, you were at 181 yesterday morning. So I would say I'm not as addicted to this 185 level right now. And I think the best thing to do might be to err on the side of caution, although it's bounced off this 50 period a couple times. So maybe there's a short at 187.50 here for Tesla. Oh man, we still didn't get that Meta. Do you know how close Meta came there? I thought I was going to get filled and then I'd have to say something about it. But what? Wait a second. 38s? What? I'm bidding 40. Oh, we must have just put it there. That must have been before. So I was bidding 41s. Meta just went to 46. Okay, so we're there at 41. So let's see if Meta can fill us. 41 bid on Meta to make off of our last short right there. That's 80s. So we'll see if we can make 40 cents, and then we'll wait for that move back into 247. But remember where our out is. If we break through 248, we're out. So we're going to have to average into this position. I still like the short, but look what the market's doing. Poking its head again above the 50 period. So let's wait to see what happens here with the futures. It's been a nice move down. We were as down as 1.4% though. Let's see if the retracement upside is alive and well. I don't know.
Yeah, we're kind of chopping in like a bigger range than we were this morning. So like a 10-point range on ES that we're chopping around on. We're kind of used to chopping in like 5-point ranges on ES. Somebody asked about Apple. Drizzy Jr., shout out to Drizzy, asking about Apple. I said this morning, unless Apple gets to 171.50, which I don't see happening, I don't think it's a long. Well, what do we have here? A double bottom on 171.50. So missed that one. I don't hate that idea of going long. Although like the market's really kind of bouncing and Apple's doing nothing. This one has been quite weak recently. So I'm not going to go long Apple, actually. Changed my mind there. Palantir, however, that's a bit of a miss there. I guess it's not saved for whatever reason. Yeah, so didn't get my fills at the 52 that I was bidding at. Should have been bidding 56, I guess, which I did and didn't get filled on that either. So yeah, Palantir back to that 70 price. Looking to break out here. Consolidation high is like 69 there. So we do wick the consolidation high a little bit. You'd be looking for like 80s, 85s if this started to go. So yeah, should have probably just punched 57s on Palantir instead of waiting for a bid on 56. But I don't know, usually you get filled 1 cent away, just hitting the bid. Way she goes on that one. Tesla still chopping. Amazon reclaimed 115. I don't want to keep recycling these levels over and over and getting chopped around, but that 115 looking kind of strong on Amazon. We trade down there for like less than 5 minutes and then get right back above. So maybe Amazon decent for the bounce play. We still haven't, really put in a bounce. We got to get above that 13,750 for a real bounce. Meta is so close to your bid.
2 pennies away, dude. And I'm honestly thinking.
There you go.
Awesome.
Hallelujah. Wow. Okay. There it is. Finally came in like 40 cents. Like it's like kind of pulling teeth right there. We should have reloaded the short, but we were still waiting a little bit higher. We still will wait a little bit higher for that. I've canceled my bids in the low teens right now. Look, we're 20 cents in the money on XOM. I feel like we should probably take some of that right there. If we can get a 66, we'll take it. Meta, okay, the reloads are there, but we didn't get them, so we'll hold off on that. XOM, actually, I put a 67 fill. Let's put a 64 if we can get it, because now it's coming back in. There comes Meta. Okay, sorry about that. Thought I was on XOM, but there we go. We got a 64 fill, or 65 fill there on Meta. We waited for 67s, didn't come through. We just punched out 65. Well, actually, we waited on the offer, so we get that, or on the bid on the offer, so we get that now. And now we're still long 47. So pretty good trade there for XOM today. Positive on that. We're only red on one name today. We're up on Apple, AMD, Google, Meta, Palantir, and XOM now. The only name that we are red on is the idea that we had on an 84 break for Alibaba, which is now at 83. So how could I be red on that name? Well, this is sort of the life of a day trader, of course. What? Okay, well, now when I see that, yeah, now I get even a little bit more upset, but there's the short right there. Took money early on it. Averaged it in, took a little bit more, then got stopped out, so it's a cup of coffee. Then we double that cup of coffee and turn it into like a latte on the loss there, because we tried to defend 84 thinking it was relatively strong, hanging above VWAP all day. And then all of a sudden it broke, and since we broke down through that VWAP, we talked about that on the midday show. Arun was asking what was the value of VWAP, and I think that a lot of it is just that, it's literally price, volume, giving it right to you, right? Volume weighted average price. So as the volume comes through in the name, you can see that. I use it as support and resistance, really. And we're going to talk to Brian Shannon tomorrow all about VWAP and why that's good. And he talks about names being, in the penalty box when you're below, then wait for it to break out. Then you start to look at it for the long, and the same sort of way where you're innocent until proven guilty is what he uses for that terminology, back down to the downside. So, Alibaba was good until it wasn't, and then it broke lower, and now you can see the action. Now, this is funny because it's not just VWAP or anything like that. There's lots of different indicators, right? We could have said the same thing here about the 50 period, this sort of 21 period. So it's all there. It's just a matter of what do you use and what are you comfortable using. That's really the most important to everything and to everybody. And on hindsight, and on that note,
Oh my God.
It's Meta, baby. And there it is right there, back down to 247. So, man, we're still in this one. We're still on it. We are still in this market on the short side. We did take some profits there. I would look 10 times smarter if we didn't, but that is, I mean, I guess I can just be quiet and probably look smarter. But right there, 247.40 was our out, again, based on what I thought could have been some support. That broke, and when it did, now you're right back into another level where I was thinking about taking out right there, but we didn't. Now we're going to hold for a little bit of a more desperate move to the downside. And look at this. There's the take on XOM. We talked about having 20%. Now we have 10. So, yeah, all good. Like XOM, definitely a win for us on that one, as this market is definitely waking up. And there goes Meta, man. This is a $3 winner from where we were short. There it is, pushing down through 247, sorry. And now we're going to see what happens here on the rest of the day. So there's the banger of the afternoon for everybody. So slap that fail on Meta, and it's going to break through 247. Let's just see how far it goes, man. AMD's still at 108, to be honest with you. I thought it was going to go a little bit lower, but AMD hovering around 108. That could be a trade to the short side. If you believe in it, it's bouncing off 108 right now. You can use 108. VWAP all the way up here, but this is not a horrible spot for AMD. You give it to this 108.30. I don't know. The difference is, man, AMD today, Max, flat on the day. May not want to short a name that's flat on the day. So that's just, it's relatively strong. We know that. NASDAQ now down 1.28%. Oh, we have a super chat. What's up, Adam DeLuz? Thanks for pointing that out there. I missed it on all this talk. What's up, Lilia? Thank you so much. Fantastic day. Thank you so much on Palantir. Yeah, Palantir is a great stock today, that's for sure. It was even better yesterday on that 12 break. And you are welcome. Trader TV, Day Trade the World, make this all possible for all of us all around the world. So that's a good one there, man. And yeah, Day Trade the World available everywhere in the world except for the United States.
Yeah, everything looks like it's about to take out the lows there, and then we get this bounce on NASDAQ. So double bottom there on NASDAQ. Do we get back above 13,750 now? Tesla really gave it up, though. So the one that's actually giving it up is the strongest, probably one of the stronger ones on the day of Tesla. Gets down almost to that 185 level that we were talking about before. This one probably is short now. I mean, although, do they just grab the liquidity, go right back above 186, and then make it back to VWAP? Who knows, but not going to try longing again on Tesla. Looking like a pretty big breakdown there. Amazon back below 115, so everything giving it up except for Meta, which holds that 247 once again. So whatever is going on at that price on Meta, that 247 super strong today, even off the open, didn't feel like breaking back down here, wouldn't even get down to there. So yeah, Tesla or Meta just holding that 247. I don't know what to trade at the moment. Probably nothing.
Not Meta, maybe.
Definitely not Meta. Well, definitely not.
I like Meta here, don't you, though? It could be a long. I mean, as it
could
goes,
be a
right?
double bottom long if we. I mean, I just feel like someone's gonna come out and say something, and then, you know, everything.
We talked about Day Trade the World, so Prad's on the other side, so we'll wait for this. Just flip to my screen, Prad. That's all you need to do right now, because I just want to show this. So this was from Day Trade the World. Gain exclusive insights to day trader life from myself. So check this out, Trader TV Sean and Trader TV Live. Real cool graphic right here, and some good talk. So make sure you go check this out. We'll put this in Bears vs Bulls. If you could put this in the chat as well. It's tweeted out from Day Trade the World. I retweeted it as well. You can see I had this from last week. This picture. We had the Adidas on right there, and this is 8 insights and lessons learned from the trading floor. I've been on a trading floor for 22, almost 23 years now, and going pretty strong, I hope. And we had one of our best years. Was it last year or the year before? I think it might have been the year before. Yeah, it was the year before. Last year, very obviously, it was, well, not obvious. I mean, it's tough. Sometimes, you can go a year without making any money. I mean, we talk about that here to the guys behind us, and that is that if you're going to commit to a prop floor, and especially starting off your career, you're going to want to understand that there are trials and tribulations going up and down. Some markets, and I keep looking over there because Arun's just over there looking at charts, but he even said this himself. I think it was yesterday and again today. Changing a little bit style up sometimes because you realize the market has changed. And, you know, you're going to see Arun being more patient, possibly. I mean, look, you guys talked for 3 hours all about this, so I don't need to talk about his book. But that's the same thing that I'm doing. I think it's the same thing that you're doing, and it's the same thing that we're encouraging everyone behind us. And that is that understand the game and do your work. You know, like I put that in about Arun over there looking at charts. That's what it's all about. Like you saw, Max, you talked about going out for a walk. I don't know if you've noticed, I literally sit here pretty much the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, I go out for walks as well. You know, call the wife, do whatever. You know, go get a coffee with Randy, whoever wants to go, talk to Guy. It's all about that. But at the same time, you know, I feel like the more you're in front of the screen and looking at things, like I added that 21 period. You know, I looked at it, and it's a great scalping tool, honestly.
Yeah.
So I like that. I've added that. I've added VWAP as more of a thing that I'm looking for to make sure where to put on bigger positions. Are we below VWAP? Are we above VWAP? Little things like that has made me a better trader. And I feel like the more we can express that to everybody, the better off everybody's going to be with learning their own style, learning your own strategies. And most importantly, don't necessarily copy anybody else.
Yeah.
You know, because Max, although you're trained by Brankles, is that true or Greg?
It was Greg that trained me.
Greg,
Yeah.
okay, so good, okay, good. Whew. No, we love Brankles. But what I'm getting at is that Greg also trained other traders
Yeah.
in which have turned out to be either more successful, less successful, different style of trading than yourself. So
Yeah.
you have to adapt who you are to the style that you want. And then is the market sort of giving you wins based on your style? Do you have to adjust it, so on and so forth? So that's a lot of gobbledygook, but that's really, you know, what's made me a better trader, being able to adapt to the market. Obviously, it was go nuts time, and me and Brad are talking about this. Back in 2020, the market was way different. You know, AMC's halted? Great. You know, like that opens up $3 higher, or maybe that was more GameStop. But opening, you know, that's a completely different style than now. And I remember you and Sharif, even just a month ago on the midday show, many of those HKDs or moguls or some of these huge runners that would happen, right? Even PAC-W, SIVB, Wall, a lot of these banks, when they're halting, they're excited, and when they're sort of slowed down, they're not, right? So, you know, you gotta pick your poison.
We used to trade small caps all the time, Sharif and I, and now like they trade a lot differently. They don't trade cleanly, and you never see me in a small cap anymore. Maybe I should go back to them and try to learn what they're doing now a little better, but they're just not setting up the way that they used to. Things aren't happening as cleanly, so you have to adapt. And like you say, people can try to trade like you, and they can watch the show and just copy everything that you do. But I mean, if it doesn't work for their mentality, like that's that you're not going to make money, even though you're making money.
I'm not
them
sure this
trying to
works for my
copy you.
mentality.
Well, yeah.
I'm losing my mind here. But no, you're right. That's the case, right?
You could try to copy your trades and lose money because you trade a different way and you scale out a different way, you scale in a different way, and you take the trades differently.
Here's the key, and this is, and thank you for saying all that, because you're a perfect example, man. I mean, you don't have the experience that Arun, Neil, and myself have, and you're completely different, you know, about learning. And this is what it is right here. Gary, what's up to Gary Houston? You guys are making me a different style trader for the better. So that's what it's all about. It doesn't, as long as you're getting better. You know, because this is why I look forward to coming here every single day, is literally what opportunities are there going to be today? For me, for Max, for whoever, what opportunities are there today? And I mean, that's the most important thing for me. I don't know where the opportunities are going to come from, but I do know that there's going to be opportunities, and it's our job to sit here and find them and trade them, right? Whether or not you use more shares, less shares, that's completely up to you. Whether or not you hold, that again is completely up to you. Here goes Meta. Meta is bouncing around a little bit, but the tank is on, baby. We feel the heat to the downside right now today, and there goes Meta breaking now. Days low, breaking. Meta has a lot of work to do if it wants to catch up to this market. I'm happy being short, a red name. It's Meta, it's short, and we're in this name. Oh yeah, by the way, XOM, thank you, come again. Money, 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 money. Meta right there, a nice move, man. We just retraced all the way back down. Unfortunately, we were waiting at 43. It went to 46. Okay, so we don't have the best price. We should just averaged in where we were the first time at 47. I was getting a little greedy, waiting a little bit lower, uncertain of this market, but there it is. We get another piece, and you can see we're still long XOM and short Meta. So one is 40 cents in the money, one is 70 cents in the money. But it's this Meta trade that I'm ho-humming about. Brendan's going to give us the number in just a couple minutes or a couple seconds now. It's 329.32, 33 if you're trading with us here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. This is the time that we have 329, 40, 41, 42. So if you're not caught up, it should be about, I don't know, does any of you, do people want to put in the chat maybe what time they have? Because I feel like the most I've ever seen is like an 8-second delay. And I feel like that might have been in Europe or something like that. So right now it's 3:29. It is 3:30 right now, 3:30 here in Toronto, Ontario. So, all right, so let's go. 2 to 3 seconds delayed. So that's not too bad. We'll wait to see what this number is. But for right now, XOM nicely in the money now, really nicely. And Meta still bouncing around. So no new trade ideas for me yet.
Yeah,
Some people 20 seconds behind, 7 seconds behind. Okay. Well, that's
7
good.
seconds is pretty good.
No,
I thought it would be like
YouTube,
20, 30.
actually, you could probably Google it. I think there's like a 5-second delay inputted by YouTube anyways into their streams. Maybe that's not true. Maybe it is. But, you know, we spent a lot of money on the infrastructure here. We actually have. We had that problem where we were failing a little bit. We actually have a backup as well. So there's, you know, if something ever gets cut with our first line, we have another. Okay, let's go over to the big desk with Brendan. I heard what it was. I can't remember, so I'm going to go with happening now, and I was told this about 5 seconds ago.
Close enough. We'll tell you about it's 180 to sell, by the way, so meh. Nothing really to talk about. But coming up tomorrow, definitely not that, but this guy is coming on tomorrow. As you guys were talking about, there we go. Brian Shannon going to be here from Alpha Trends. Make sure you are here, guys. We're going to give this away. So on the show, 2:45 now-ish, tomorrow afternoon, we're going to give this away. So shout out to Brian Shannon. He'll be here tomorrow, as you guys were saying.
Yeah, just looking at this Meta holding this 247 area right now. So I got a tiny little position here on the break of these tops right here. We'll see if this can go. Not going to let this break low of day on me. This is a small position, just looking for a little retracement here on Meta. May not happen, but market looking like it wants to break out. And I talked about Tesla potentially just coming down here, trading below 186 for a while and blasting back up, and that's what it does for now. I mean, you'd want to see it taking out that 187 to be pretty comfortable in the long there on Tesla, but definitely a little bit of buying coming in. NASDAQ starting to make the bounce now, has to clear that 13,750 though to really bounce here. Yeah, kind of muted action at the moment. ES, I guess the teal line on the 5-minute is not the same as it is on the 1-minute, but it's holding above there now. So maybe the bounce is in. We will see. Not a whole lot of volume coming in yet to the upside on any of these names, although Tesla starting to make that move back to that 50 period on the 1-minute. We'll see what happens if these can get going. I don't know. I just got a tiny little position in case we do get a bounce. I don't know what else is going on. Those small caps just doing nothing. That CWBR tried one more time, I think, for that.
Max, I want you to take this super chat. Do you see it in the chat? I will talk about Pan W. I want to say shout out to Christina there. Although Christina, I'm not sure about your last name here. Christina Neal right there. So shout out to Neal as well. I'll give my thoughts on Pan W, but if you don't mind, maybe you can talk about this. The habitual traveler, just because
habitual traveler. I want to be a day trader. What should I do to start, and what platform? Love you. Want to get involved? Please help. Well, first of all, spend a lot of time on a simulator. I don't know where you live necessarily in Canada. Here we have. What what is it with TD Thinkorswim? They have a simulator. Interactive Brokers has a simulator. You got to figure out which platform you can trade on and how you want to trade. If you want to swing trade, the fees don't matter so much. If you want to day trade and be super active the way that we trade, you definitely want a platform that has low or no fees. And if you are in the US, definitely.
You getting a coffee? Oh, free coffee. So Max, I actually read that wrong. I didn't mean to tell you to say like what platform. I was more meaning, I read like, I want to be a trader, what should I do?
Oh.
So that's, I didn't even read it below, but I think you're right. You want to go onto a simulated platform. But
Yeah.
you know, what was part of your decision making maybe? This is why I wanted to go over to you, was when you were deciding to become, because how long have you been trading for now?
Like 2.5 years probably.
Okay, perfect.
So 1 year here.
Okay,
1.5
so
on my own.
What was some of the things that you maybe had to consider, or you know, when you were just debating going maybe full time into this and trying to create this as a career? Like what were some of the things that were running through your mind? Maybe that can help out some of these beginning traders. And then what have you learned maybe, you know, that you would have wished you had known maybe a year and a half ago or a year ago?
Well, you got to figure out if you can, you know, afford to invest the time and not have the salary. If you want to do this full time, you got to figure out like, what is my time frame here? How much do I have saved that I can, you know, go without a salary? Because, you know, the market is very unpredictable. Maybe one day you could make like, I don't know, $100,000 on some small cap, whatever, or some, you know, DWAC trade like, you know. When you and Brad were long into that halt,
that video,
I was watching that day. That was crazy. But yeah, I mean, it's more likely that you're going to get chopped around for a long time learning how to trade. So yeah, definitely consider like, can you do this? Do you have the ability to last while you learn things? Definitely better to kind of, if you're going to do it like with your own money and you intend that to be a career, you should probably figure out if you can even generate income from trading first. But yeah, I think.
And learn, I mean, you already nailed it right on the head lots of times there. I think it is harder in the United States because you do have the PDT rule, but
exactly.
You know, you guys can work around that, and there'd be more people in the chat that would probably be able to help you with some of their suggestions on PDT rule. Here in Canada, we do not have anything like that. So that's why you're seeing me literally today with 130 fills or whatever, because of different, well, more than that, because of, you know, we don't have those rules, and plus we're on a prop floor. We're not trading our own personal money, and that does put an effect into it as well. But you know, keeping some money in the bank, pretty good. Brendan may talk about Tesla, so I'm going to throw it over to him, and then if not, I have something to say on some news here. What's up, Brendan?
Yeah, I saw that too on Elon making some comments. But I was going to mention this C3 AI moving around on this note, suggesting an Air Force contract just came through. So AI-enabled predictive maintenance program. They're going to use an AI-enabled predictive maintenance program as their system of record. That's the Air Force on AI, but not much of a reaction to that for C3 AI.
I feel like that's a very, very good story for them. I mean, we've seen Palantir. Oh, so the Elon Musk, I mean, I think this is a long, Max. I mean, you tell me what you think about C3 AI. I like that story. Now they're being used in defense systems. I mean, the Air Force, that's like Palantir, man. That's a contract that they're not going to lose as long as they don't screw it up. Now, I don't know how much money it would be. That would be tending to be probably on the lower side, as it's not big business, but obviously military and whatnot is big business in the United States. So let's see. Maintenance repairs, I don't know exactly all about that, but apparently Tesla is ready to choose. This is from the desk of Elon Musk. Remember, nobody can say shit about Tesla anymore until this guy approves it. So here it is right here. Tesla CEO Elon Musk just said that it would probably pick another location for Gigafactory by the end of this year. So we can have Randy come on maybe in the next couple of days, talk all about Tesla, but it's not really moving the stock. And of course, as they go, they're going to need more factories, you know, more space to produce and to take over the world. So you're going to need more of that. I guess there's a Gigafactory, what, in Berlin? Yeah. There's one in, what's the province of China? Shanghai, I believe it's Shanghai. Berlin, and then they're trying to do one in India. And there's not one in Austin, is there? Is that a gig? Okay, so there you go. So they're going to be adding to that. You know, maybe they can compete with Ford and go to Oakville, Ontario, Canada. That would be very interesting. I would love to have a Gigafactory here in Canada, but I don't think that we'll be signing up or lining up to pay whatever they need there as a incentive for them to come through. But that would be pretty cool if that did happen. Sudbury? Is that what you said? Uxbridge, yeah. Let's bring all the love. How about Downsview? We'll put it right there, right in, almost in downtown Toronto, Downsview Park, where I think they should have put the Rogers Centre.
Downsview Park.
Have you been to Downsview? Or
I don't think
Woodbine.
I've
How about
ever-
Woodbine? Like the thing about my beef, and I, you know, again, I probably have too many beefs all the time, but my beef with the Rogers Centre, of course, is that it's lovely. It's right in downtown, and that has obviously its benefits as well. But parking and all that kind of stuff, you see these big, like, you know, Dallas, they sort of put it, boom, you can park all around. It's easy to get to. It's right on major highways. In Toronto, like, even just to drive downtown, to get downtown is hours, and you're like 10 kilometers away, like you're like 10 miles away, and it's going to take you an hour to get down there. It's like the traffic jam just to get to a Jays game. But
It's right
anyways.
at Union Station there, though. You can just take
Shut up,
the
Max. There
take
is
the
a problem.
subway
Yeah,
and drink as many beers as you want. I like it that way better.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I still think
driving
it would be
in,
very
like-
accessible if it were, I mean, Downsview Park is also a subway stop, but I do understand what you're getting at. It is nice. I love the Sky Dome, and I really love what they've done this year to all of that. So shout out to everybody going to Jays game. Shout out to Ahmed, who was here last week ringing the bell. He went to a Jays game, but I think the Jays got swept by Baltimore this weekend, or it was not. Was it? I think it was, yeah. And then now we got dummied by Tampa Bay yesterday as well. But you know, that's what happened. So, okay, Brennan, 180 million to sell was the imbalances as down goes Meta right now as we're continuing its downside push. And yeah, man, so we did it again there. What's up to Britney Spears? Because oops, there it is. We need a graphic for that. I say that all the time. Nice move to the downside for Meta, and it is continuing. You know, this is the thing. Look at the market. The market's doing jack. This is why we say it's all about stock selection. So if you're just going to follow me today, we just talked about don't follow, but that's $1 in the money in about a half hour. So that's a nice move there for Met, about a half hour, about 45 minutes to the downside there, $1. Plus we had that short as well. So it's really paying out. Our AMD shorts this morning, unfortunately we don't still have them, but these were really good trades. Actually, our out is still below where it's at right now. So that was a pretty good out overall. And then, of course, XOM. So the two trades that we put on for you here this afternoon. And again, I think we've had some good talk. We had that Frank Caberna come through, but it was XOM long, and that's been money. And then Meta short. And then we were looking at Palantir. Unfortunately, I don't see you in it. But that was a great call, too. Down here at 1250. I should have been there. That's on me.
Yeah, that Palantir off that 1250 looked beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. Not looking at much going into the close. Amazon is still holding that 115, so maybe I should just be long Amazon here. NASDAQ. Yeah, I punched out right at the bottom. Why didn't I set a low of day? Wow, that's a miss right there. Should have set a low of day stop. I don't know what I was doing setting a stop at like 84 there. I guess I mistyped that one, so should be long Amazon right now, I guess, into this 115.20 price. See what happens with this one. I think if this holds 115 today, that's what you want to look at tomorrow. Obviously, we talked about this 114.25 area that held a while ago, then held yesterday, and then it holds this morning. So maybe we get that same kind of move tomorrow on Amazon where it holds this 115 and then you get the move up. Obviously, you're going to need some positive news on these debt ceiling talks, which are getting kind of tiring for me. Would rather this just get ironed out so we can worry about some different issues. What's this one? White House spokeswoman.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, that one's about China. So, you know, I guess we can start worrying about China next once the debt ceiling is fixed.
We've been worried about China for a while, man.
Just find new things to worry about all the time. What's hanging out at high of day? Like Pfizer's hanging out at high of day, right around that 40 level. So that was a good buy for you on Pfizer there yesterday. Sean making money in the short term and the long term. Nice job there. Nice turnaround off 40 though on Pfizer, and you get that like little retracement. I was wondering if you could get back into 40 here and then do a little wick and back down, but it never really got there, and it's kind of slow, so didn't really give me my setup there on Pfizer. Moderna also at high of day after this crazy move. Bounced off. Wow. Oops. I actually didn't really New York NASDAQ.
There's always so many trades, man.
I know.
Moderna's a wild one.
Pretty much exactly 140 is the high there, and retraces $3, so not a bad trade there on Moderna, but very spready on this one. I've gotten pretty smoked trying to trade Moderna in the past. This can get pretty heated pretty quick when there's no liquidity on the book there for you, and the spread is like 40 cents. AMD is making a big move into the closes. AMD have news? What's going on there?
I don't know. I'm going to find out.
Volume's starting to kind of heat up here on AMD. Back into that 109 level. Advanced micro. Anything.
No, stock performance, okay. Gene therapy, okay, Novartis. So I just wanted, it's NVS. Sorry, I don't know, I was talking to myself there. Novartis, so this is, again, the reason why there's that Ozempic. I think Ozempic is Novartis, is it? I think it is. But anyways, they've been on fire. Obviously, there's been some celebrities and stuff like that. And again, I don't know. Like here in Canada, like sometimes the wife will watch Judge Judy on like a Buffalo station, and all that I see is like drug commercials.
Yeah.
Like buy this, and by the way, there's also like a trillion possibilities of you dying, but this one drug will give you less headaches or something. So I don't know if it's NVS, Novartis, or whatever for Ozempic, but this is a big move to the upside. I know there's been a lot of talk about weight loss and everything with this diabetes drug. So Pfizer, it's not Eli Lilly. Let me see if anybody talking about it. I don't know. Ozempic, there it is. All right, so I don't know what it is, but anyways, that's been some talk there. So yesterday, Pfizer got some acceptance on whatever their drug was. So that's why I decided to get into it, not back into it on Pfizer. And there you go. That's sort of that bump that you're talking about. But let's not say I'm making money in my long-term account. I bought Disney at $98, and that's at 90. It still's not breaking 90 here. So again, this was a starter. They're both starter positions. So like what's winning in one is losing in the other, and yada, yada. So, but let's just wait to see what happens here with Disney off 90. That could be a trade tomorrow. It could be a trade right now. I just don't know if there's going to be enough juice. We have those imbalances coming out very, very soon, and they're going to populate. I'm going to get rid of NYSE America, which is ARCA. And then, so these are all not now. These are as of 9/29. Something must, okay, that's either a warrant or something there. But doesn't look like anything really halted today. All this data is from 9/29.50 or 9/30. So that's going to update at 3:50, and then we'll get a move one way or the other. Meta is still hovering around here. I think it's time that we think about putting a stop in for Meta. So let's just do that right now. All right, so now that we have this, where's the 50 period? I'm going to take this out. 247.20. So let me just cancel my stop orders right now. I'm going to put in another order right now. This is the order that I use. So it goes like that. You put it in. I can get out of 75.25. This is me and Neil often talk about this. I'm going to get out of 100% of this trade. Now it's coming down, so let's go. Good trade so far on this as it is pulling back. But I'm going to, oops, I got sidetracked there. What did I say? All right, 247.20 right there. So let's go 247.22. We'll push enter, and that'll sit there. So hopefully if it goes back up to the upside, we'll get, not hopefully, we will get taken out. But if the imbalance comes red, then we should see a flush a little bit there on Meta. I just don't want the imbalances to come bid side, and then we get stopped out. That's not worth the risk for me, so we'll wait on this one and see where it goes. But for right now, that's what we're doing. It's Meta, and we're waiting to see if we do get a kickback on this trade. So Meta right now, all good, but downside in just a couple minutes is what we're waiting for right now. Wow, look at this Meta daily chart, just taking names, man, and not asking too many questions either. So there it goes up to the upside with Meta.
Yeah, Meta just chopping around recently. I mean, everything chopping around with these debt talks going on. Amazon still holding there. That Tesla holding below my 186. What is it, 186.50 price? So, everything hanging out into the close. NVIDIA actually did end up bringing it all back. So could have got long back over that 307.50, I guess, but that doesn't really give you enough there. Maybe a little momentum play into that 308. But holding up ahead of earnings tomorrow on NVIDIA. Lots of room to go to either way on this one. Having a look at that daily chart, we are at almost all-time highs here, 340 potentially incoming after earnings. I wonder what the options implied move is on this NVIDIA.
I can have that in a second.
Yeah, we should look at that. I don't have, what is it, options AI or something?
Yes, sir.
I'll look that up.
All right, you look that up, and I will deal with Meta, because right now Meta is coming down. Meta just touched 70 again. That's probably a great out, man. That's $1. We should probably take that if that does happen one more time. Let's look at taking that profit. So here comes, well, you know what? Whatever, man. Let's let it go. The imbalances are coming right now. We have our stop order. Unfortunately, 70 and 20 is a lot different. In fact, it's 50 cents different. So there it is right now. Okay, and there we go. We get stopped out. There it is. So it just comes up. I was just saying we should have taken that 50, but okay. We didn't, so it doesn't matter at this point. But there it is. Nice move to the upside. We get stopped out on that Meta. That's okay. Again, 80s, out 20s, still 60 cents. Could have had it a lot more. That sucks. All right, what's going on now? Lucid with a buy. Not loading, not loading. There it is. Nice little jump up there. Just 6 cents, nothing, I guess. What else happened there? Qualcomm. Oh, don't tell me Meta's still at that level, so I feel fine about it. Pepsi with a bid. That was 10% left. That was not, I mean, it was a decent size because we just put it on, but I'm not going to lose sleep over that Meta trade. Uber with a buy. I still like that trade as well. You just let me know, Max, if there's anything you want to do. I can take it into the close. TLT GPS with a bid there as well. So BHC, Bausch & Lomb, that's a Teva spinoff. There's something there. Yeah, but other than that, not much happening. And there's Mr. Brennan Wickens with the update. It's an amazing 422 to sell. So pretty light on that number overall. And it's Aqua there as a sell with 6 million. So that's making that move right now. Maybe some sort of action on that, but whatever. We'll pass. And then that's it, man. So yeah, unfortunately, there's Meta. But look where Meta is. It's still at these same levels. So it did bump up. It's probably on here somewhere as a buy. Ooh, NVIDIA's a sell. I don't know if you noticed. Okay, there goes NVIDIA to the downside, 307.
So yeah, the options implied move on NVIDIA, 6%.
No.
So that's $18. So
it's going to go more than that.
Yeah, I expect it goes more than that, especially if it's to the downside. I mean, we've got so much room if you look at the day chart on NVIDIA. This is, I mean, do we get back to like 280 if we miss? Probably. 280 doesn't even seem that far away at this point. That would be like 28 bucks. 28 or $18 from here is like 330 almost. So crazy moves incoming tomorrow after the close on NVIDIA.
We may have to go extra time there. Well, let's see when. Does anybody know when NVIDIA reports? Sharif actually, I remember when Sharif first started, he was trading right behind me actually, and he was trading aftermarket earnings, and I was like, dude, you're insane. And that only lasted a couple weeks until he realized that in fact he was insane to do that. Now you can see he's a little more conservative in trading now that he's found his way. So yes, sir. Shout out to Sharif again on the midday show. What a great show it was once again today. So okay, not much to go on for me right now. We are in 10% left of XOM. That was the trade that we had 10% of. We saw half of our Meta, unfortunately. But there it is, nice, the downside move. Now, we could probably just get out, man. I mean, the market's failing here at the end of the day. I don't have, yeah, you know what? Let's just call this a day. We'll get out for flat here, hopefully, on that trade. And let's just double check on, so, oh, there it goes, it rips up. So we are now out. And that was pretty awesome trade for us on XOM as we get our last 10% out for flat. And some good outs there, 40 cents, 35 cents there. And then one last checkup on Disney. That's what I wanted to do, to see did we break. Okay, so we broke it, but I think we're pretty right on all this. It's not, you know, when we talk about breaking something with vigor, that did not happen. It broke 90 and just chilled out. Remember, we have that, I can keep this up if people want to, I don't know. But right there, Disney on the 5-minute, we talked about this bottom right there that happened actually yesterday morning, 89.90. So let's pay attention to Disney for tomorrow. So we'll write that down on our sticky note. Oh, we'll write it down. I don't know if we will trade it tomorrow, but we'll watch out for that, as here are the imbalances that are left. Sorry.
Yeah, after the close, 420 on NVIDIA tomorrow. So I don't think you want to go an extra 20 minutes for that one, but you go ahead. I think I'll take off before then.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit here and be like, okay, we're waiting now for NVIDIA, and we are still waiting.
Yes.
And it is 4:19.
You can cover all the small caps that are reporting in between now and then, I guess. I don't know.
We'll pass on all that.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing. You know what's crazy? CWBR,
Yep.
that small cap. Where is it?
WBR.
CWBR.
Oh, yeah, you were talking about that.
Still in the same range. I would not have guessed that. Still sitting at this 550 price, so nobody winning now on this one. Everybody probably a little tilted trading CWBR. You're looking for the short all the way down. You're looking for the long for continuation, and it just rinses everybody on either side all afternoon since this 1 o'clock rally there. So yeah, CWBR, kind of disappointing for the excitement factor. Obviously still up 250% there. But yeah, pretty crazy action there.
All right, the last 5 minutes right now. Tesla tilted you today, Trey Brown. Well, I mean, yeah, that's why actually our boy Luca coined that stress. Was that? I think it was Luca that did that, unless it was Sharif. But it was definitely a midday quote there, Stressla. And so, yeah, if it stressed you out, man, join the club. I like trading Stressla, but again, it needs to be, so there's 185. This is what we wrote down on the sticky note. It's only coming into play right now. And there it is, 185. So I don't know why. Let's see where you could have maybe got caught here today on Tesla. I mean, maybe a 5-minute. I know you traded, you did well on it, right? So all good there. Shout out to Max trading Tesla today. But yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like there was too many spots there that you could have sort of got caught in on. But Tesla, aka Stressla, always giving stress to traders. So just be very careful. Oops, that's still, I was going to say 192. I didn't realize we had that bad wick there. So yeah, Tesla today. I don't know. You were okay on it after all, weren't you?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't
I know you
bad.
had that one last
Trying to go long in the midday was a little challenging on Tesla. I figured that it was going to hold that 190 area. So I tried like 3 times. This one was an accident. So 2 times I tried for the hold of 190. Didn't work. Obviously, didn't give up everything that I gave up or that I made here. That would have been really bad to do that. But all these trades back here were very small size and quite tightly risked. So yeah, Tesla ended up okay on that. Love trading Tesla to the long side, hate trading to the short side. I feel like the shorts just go, I mean, there's always buyers on Tesla. There's always the Elon fanboys, right?
Yes, sir.
So kind of hard to short against those buyers sometimes. And you have, you know, Cathie Wood's always buying the dips on Tesla. So hate shorting it. Love going long. Although getting those like wick tops on a long day like that, the high of day today was almost 193. So you could short in front of 193, risking the breakout. That's not a terrible trade. Yeah.
AI didn't do anything off that news. All right, let's see what earnings there are for tomorrow. So, okay, into it. Oh, Pan W. We didn't talk about that. I'll talk a little bit about Palo Alto in a minute. Okay, so New Relic. I mean, there's some new names on there. I don't know, is that VF Corp in the top right? I'm not sure. Toll Brothers Housing has been pretty hot, obviously. Lately, some Canadian love there for Scotiabank as well. I mean, again, I don't, you know, that's getting into banks. I mean, Canadian banks, I know they're not super exciting to everybody. They're just more dividend plays on this side. And then I think the most exciting name tomorrow will probably be XPeng right there in the middle. But Palo Alto, again, a name that can be traded on the show now. I keep forgetting that, you know, it's only $200 now. off of a split. So PanW, again, look, so the thing about that is we've talked about this. We talked about CrowdStrike earlier. They're looking to make a little bit of money as well. They're not now, they're after. But this doesn't seem right, 2,400. No, we did this before. Right, their forward look is only 40. So I think that's about right for Palo Alto. Forget about the PE. Right now it's kind of shorted. 6.5% is pretty big for a name like this. But I like Palo Alto here. It's just on the daily, there's the split that we're talking about. Our charts don't adjust for that, unfortunately. But there's the 50 period. You're right at it right now. I think cybersecurity should be all the rage right now. It's had a nice move, obviously, from 134 up there to 200. But see, you had a problem at 202, 204. So I like to say that if this number comes out and it's a beat, you're going to smoke this level and you're going to get a lot higher. But until that happens, I think you're sort of hovering around a key area here on PanW at the 50 period. I'm a buyer down here at 176. I'm actually long PanW and not selling into this. It's in the longer term account. I actually like it on a dip, so I wouldn't be surprised right there. I don't know what the option AI information is on PanW, but I would expect a relatively calm move for this name, to be honest with you. I could see a move up to 200 or a move down in here into 178. I'd probably say it's probably 4% or so on that, if you still have that website up.
Yeah, looking it up now.
If you do.
I recall I traded PanW on their last earnings, was expecting like a huge move on a breakout, and it just didn't go that far, so let's see.
Oh, shoot, we're almost on the bell right now. It's going to be Miss Katrine. We'll talk about that play in a minute, but here we go. It is going to be a countdown. Just get that number for everybody, Max. All right, there's only 7 seconds left, so let's throw it over to Kat. It's 6%. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, well, that's about as blurry as it's going to get, and that is called a green screen. All right, there's some clapping behind us. Hopefully there was a big trade made there at the end of the day. But yeah, now you know that we have a green screen there. All right, all good, man. It was a great day, my best day of the month. I hope it was also a great day for you. It sounds like some of the boys had some good trades there at the end. So let's throw it over to Brendan and see the story on the broader markets.
Connection doesn't seem to be working right now, so I'll show you this. 1% for the SPY here, 1.1 to the downside. The NASDAQ about 1.3 when all is said and done at day lows. But pretty red, a lot of caution, to say the least, ahead of, hopefully, anyways, more discussions to come on this debt ceiling issue.
All right, yeah, more to come on that one as the market is just dancing around right now. Oh, Intuit is out. We can check out them, INTU. Right now, I said there would be some problems with some of the tax reporting. They adjusted EPS 892 versus 845. Net revenues lower though. They guide higher. So there we go. Let's see what happens with Intuit again. Not too much volume on this name, but up to 455. The spread is only $15, only $22 right now on Intuit, so it might be a little bit hard to find it out. Okay, not too many exciting ones. We'll wait for PanW, but again, thank you so much, Max. Again, today, good day. Thanks for coming out, and you still have 3 more days, so don't go anywhere. Thanks to Randy, who was switching today. Thanks to Prad, that had a lot of help, obviously, on the board today, as Mahad is off, not feeling that well, so shout out to Mahad. Hopefully he feels better soon. Thanks, Brendan, for some of those news drops as well. And thanks to Bears vs. Bulls. And more importantly, thanks to both Sharif and Arun and to everybody watching. Thank you so much for all the super chats. Thank you to all our new members and old members today. It really means a lot to us. You really helped the show flow. Keep the chat the best in the business, and that's what it is. So a big shout out to everybody there today, and good luck to everybody with PanW. I know that's something that's exciting for many traders. Well, hopefully that will come out and give us a little kick one way or the other. Not out yet, PanW. I just checked. All right. Any plans?
No plans.
All right, I got Little League practice, so I'm going to get ready to go on there. I got the bat in the car. The problem is one of the coaches that also throws BP won't be there. So I should have said let's bring the pitching machine. Yeah, maybe I'll fire that off quickly before the practice starts. All right, thank you to everybody, and I hope all your earnings plays turn out to be profitable, but make sure you join us tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. It's 8:30. It's Trader TV Live. Ciao, everybody. All right.